everybody, I'm Kai with Kai Hikari Cosplay, and let's talk about cosplay names. So today we are going to talk about cosplay names or cosplay handles, stage names, all basically the same thing. We're going to talk about why I believe you need one. Then we're going to talk about some kind of schools of thought when it comes to choosing a cosplay name, as far as like where you could derive the meaning from. I have some friends who are going to share how they got their cosplay names, and then I'm going to talk about how I got mine for some inspiration. And then at the end, I'm going to give a few things that I think you should consider when choosing your cosplay name. Okay, so why do I think that you should have a cosplay name? Think about it in kind of the sense of like Bruce Wayne and Batman. Batman wears a costume, but he doesn't go by Bruce Wayne while he's in the costume because he wants to keep his identity a secret. I'm not saying that you have to keep your identity a secret, but I know for me personally, it's some privacy things, just because like, you know, I have my life, my family who know that I cosplay, but like, you know, I have a job and some other people who I don't really want to expose to that necessarily. And so it's just easier if I don't go by my first name and last name. When I cosplay, I go by Kai Hikari because it's just like a kind of like a thing, you know. Batman is Bruce Wayne, Kai Hikari is none of your business. And once again, safety in cosplay, you know, like I'm always talking about practice safety. So practice safety. All right, so now I'm gonna show you some videos of some friends talking about how they got their cosplay names.
Hey guys, so it's Snake Oil Cosplay. Kyra told me to kind of explain to you guys a little bit what my name means, and with a name like Snake Oil Cosplay, there's definitely a story behind it. So essentially, snake oil salesmen are in both history and a lot of RPG games, generally with a negative connotation. So if you haven't heard from it in history, I think like Fable and a few other RPGs have kind of a snake oil salesman. Basically what it is someone that's selling you this fake elixir that's supposed to do something, and you have the placebo effect of making yourself believe that it's working or it doesn't work or whatever, but usually placebo effect is in place. So basically, I don't mean it in a negative way like a lot of the connotations are. Basically, to some extent, all cosplayers are snake oil salesmen, because we're definitely selling that we are a thing that we are in fact not when we are a character or a person or whatever it may be that we're choosing to cosplay. So, there is kind of a positive side of it too, that since we're selling you this facade that is this fake thing we are, and it's not this thing that we are, it's actually us. So there is kind of the harnessing of the power that is you. Even if you're not Geralt of Rivia, you feel powerful as him, but guess what? It's actually you, not Geralt at all. So that's kind of the story of my name. Maybe it's a little convoluted and long-winded, but also I'm a huge high fantasy cosplayer, and I love high fantasy cosplay, so it just fits my brand really well. Thanks for listening.
Hi, my name's Cyan, but I go by Hylian Cream on most of my social media. So how I got my username is like a little two-part thing. So the first part's Hylian. I got that from my love of Legend of Zelda. And I was obsessed with playing Twilight Princess at the time, so of course I was like, okay, gotta go with Hylian. It was just the most basic name instead of going with like Link or a specific like character's name like Midna was obsessed with. The second part, Cream, comes from a little middle school roleplay group I had with my friends. So we all named each other, and I went with Cream because back in 5th grade, before we started a little roleplay group, I was obsessed with the online Sonic game, and I would always play as Cream the Rabbit, even though I wasn't like really into Sonic, and I just went with it with our little group, so I was Cream, and yeah, so Hylian Cream comes from.
Hey guys, this is a little Oso Cosplay, just giving you a little tidbit onto how I came up with my name for cosplay and why I chose it. So growing up, I had a unique middle name, and just for everyone here now, my middle name is American Bear, which obviously is very uncommon. So when I was in high school, I got a nickname from my friends named Oso, which is bear in Spanish, and I absolutely loved it, and I've kind of just used it for my general Instagram name, for my regular page and all that kind of stuff. And then when I started looking to do cosplay and actually make a name for myself. I was like, what better way than to use a name that nobody really has? So I stuck with Little Oso, which is something that just kind of has always been around with me since I started, and had any sort of nickname. So nothing really too exciting, but just a simple tidbit fact of something about me. So.
Hey stars, I am Stardust Megu, and I am a cosplayer based in New York City. Now, how did I came up with the name Stardust Megu? Well, it's not some huge, deep, meaningful story, but I'll still share with you guys anyways. Let's start with the Megu part. So the Megu part is actually short for Megumi, which is my nickname that my friends call me. And I named myself that after the voice actress Megumi Hayashibara, who's a Japanese voice actress who's well known for doing voices from characters from a lot of the classic 90s and 80s anime, like Rei from Evangelion. She did the Japanese voice, and also Lena from Slayers. She did so many voices. I love her to bits. So that's how the Megu part is from. And then Stardust is actually from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is one of my favorite series of all time. And so the Stardust is from one of my favorite arcs called Stardust Crusaders. And so when I was coming up with the name, I wanted to implement my nickname and also with JoJo. So I was like thinking, like, what should I name myself? So then eventually I came up with Stardust Megumi, but then I thought, I don't know, to be honest, I didn't really like it too much. But then I took out the last parts of Megumi and left that Megu. And then I was like, Stardust Megu, that's it! That's my cosplay name! I will name myself that! And that's how Stardust Megu was born, and that's how I came up with my cosplay name. Very cool, very unique to me. I love it.
Alright, so if you can tell by the videos we just watched, there's a lot of different ways that you can get your cosplay name, as far as like where it originates from, or it's like an original idea or something that goes along with the brand, or maybe it is derived from nicknames or fandoms that you had growing up or just your whole entire time. So that's a great way to think about it. My name, Kai Hikari, definitely comes from my love of magical girls. I went by Kyren Cosplay, which is basically kind of my name, but not really my name. It's my name in Google Translator, my first and middle name. And I decided to change my name because I wanted something that felt more authentic to me and what I was doing in cosplay. And I'm like, your name is obviously authentic to you, but I just wanted something that was more inspiring to me. I find magical girl animes awe-inspiring. They inspire the way I cosplay. They inspire my life. Like Sailor Moon was my thing growing up. So I want to inspire people through my cosplay, and I thought that having a magical girl-esque name would help me. So I chose Kai Hikari. I love it. It really, I think, captures who I am as a cosplayer and as a person almost. So that's why I really like my name. And I'm sure you're feeling really inspired. But before you start coming up with a bunch of names, I suggest that you follow this process. First, think about trademarks when you're choosing your name. Obviously, you don't want to have your name be a part of something that's already trademarked, because if you were to say make cosplay a business, which you might not want to, you know, you won't really have that ability because your name is something that's already trademarked. All right, so putting that aside, keeping that on the side of your brain, I say get out a piece of paper or use your phone notes and first write down the list of things that inspire you, nicknames that you have that you might want to use, your favorite color, your favorite TV shows, and make a huge list. And after you have your huge list, I say that you take things and mix and match them, put them together, and try to come up with a name that you really like. I'd say come up with maybe 3 to 4 names, and that's where we get into our next step. Once you have your 3 to 4 names, go to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Google, and search that name in cosplay and see if there are other cosplayers who might already have those names. Obviously, you want your name to be original to you and original to your work. You don't want to be confused with other people or have it where, you know, things get mixed up about who is who. After you've done that and you've got your name, make sure that you love it. Think about the long term. Hopefully you'll be cosplaying for a really long time, and know that this is the name that people will refer to you as. You know, or they would call you whatever you want them to call. But I get called Kai Hikari all the time, or Kai, you know? And that's just because that's my cosplay name. That's what I do on the internet. That is my internet name persona. Just like when Batman goes around, people call him Batman, they don't call him Bruce. Just saying. So just consider that in the end. At the end of the day, you want your cosplay name to spark joy in your life. You want it to be inspiring to you. You want it to really tell the story of yourself and your brand, if you want to brand, or just like, you know, how fun you are. All right, so if you guys have any questions about cosplay names or need some help or anything, feel free to leave a comment below or tell me how you got your cosplay name if you already have one. I love to hear cosplay name origin stories. They get me really excited because it's fun to see the process that different people have gone through to come up with their cosplay names. But anyway, I'll catch you guys next time. This is Kai with Kai Hikari Cosplay. Bye!